Welcome back. This is probably going to be the most exciting Photoshop day of all time. I'm going to show you some sick tools, some sweet tools in Photoshop that will blow your minds and blow the minds of your friends. Yes, things are going to get cursed today. Very, very cursed. So buckle up your seatbelts. You will have some fun in Photoshop today. It's all about fun tools. Let's get started. First, I want to show you something that's going to make you angry, but also blow your mind. Remember how hard it was to use the pen tool to select this? I on purpose did not show you this tool because I didn't want you cheating. This is the ultimate cheat right here. Check out this selection tool. If I click here and hold my left mouse button, I go to Object Select. Watch how cool and powerful Object Select is. I'm going to go ahead and click on him. I'll get the little dancing wheel, the spinning wheel of truth, and guess what's going to happen? Perfect selection. This is AI enhanced selection tools. You can even use it on human faces. Let's go find Nick Cage. I'm going to open up Nick Cage's face. Let's see if it works on something advanced like the Nick Cage face. Click. Look at that. I can even select Nick Cage's face and body. Super cool. Very much a cheating tool. I would have showed you that, but then you wouldn't have wanted to learn the pen tool. And the pen tool is power. So, object selection mode. Super awesome. Okay, up next, let's go back over to Nick Cage. We may even pull out the Master Shrek in a second. I'm going to go ahead and unselect him. This one you guys are going to have a lot of fun with, probably too much fun with. I probably won't be able to get your attention afterwards. This is called the Liquify tool. So I'm going to go ahead and click Filter and Liquify. It's going to load up a panel here, and you guys are going to love this tool a little too much, if I can just say that. So we've got some cool tools. It looks very advanced, but it's not really. It's super easy. I could just let you play around. What you may find is this face aware Liquify. This is really cool. Check this out. I can change the eye size on it, like literally. And you notice that his eyes get bigger? Check this out. Look at that. I can make him narrow-eyed. And it's doing all this for me, all right? Nose height. It means you just change stuff on their face, and it's super smart. You can make them more of a smiley pants. I mean, check that smirk out. This is Nick Cage. But these tools are cool. Like, yeah, have fun with this. Mess around with it. It's cool. You can make them fat or whatever. But I don't even like those. I like to do it all by myself with my mouse. So check out this tool, the warp tool. And I could change the size and density of these brushes and the pressure. We'll just keep things crazy though. I'll take the size down a little bit and I can just take their ears out. I can warp their eyes around. Whatever I want, right? Give them like extra bumps on his forehead. People love this stuff, especially your age group. I don't know why, but there it is. You can spin it. People like doing this crap. I think that's too much. I'm going to go ahead and undo some of that. I like to keep things somewhat realistic. That's Control Z, by the way. Let's go to Pucker and Bloat. These are tools right here. This is the Bloat tool. This one's cool. I'll change the size. This gives me a little bit more realism with my fakeness. So then I can just kind of change his eye sizes like this, right? And make him a little bit more alien. And then there's the Pucker tool. So you can make his nose cavities very small, right? You can take and make the iris tiny on him. If you just change the size right here, could make that much smaller, little fine details, but most of you will, let's be honest, do something crazy like, make his mouth very small. All right. Now, I know you're already having super fun with this. Let's do it again. We'll hit OK. This time we'll load up Shrek because Shrek is a jolly fellow that I know you all know and love. Let's go Filter, Liquify. Let's go ahead and have some fun here. I'll go ahead and zoom in, maybe not that much, and we'll get started working the Shrek face. I've got my forward warp tool here. I'm definitely going to take these ears out a little bit. Trumpet ears, so you can listen more. Then he does a lot of talking. He needs to do more listening. I think we all know that. I could take the pressure down quite a bit so it's not so crazy distorted, and then I could get kind of a little bit more realistic movement. Of course, I want to pucker and bloat his eyes, give him the big eyes so he can see more. All right. And then some of you may want to take his whole head and, right? I mean, are you guys feeling that right there? And then, of course, we need to, take his whole head and make it bigger, move it out a little bit. All I'm doing is changing the size, switching the tools up. It's kind of an unlimited amount of fun you can have here with these tools. And yes, the face tools will even work on Shrek. but I think he needs to have more of a Thanos chin here. So let's give him the ultimate Thanos chin. Yeah. All right. This is the Liquify tool, another super fun tool. I know you guys will love it. Let's move on from there to a more serious tool. Hopefully you guys can, chill out on that. Let's go do a real tool that actually compositors use. Okay, it's still another powerful tool though, and it's gonna be more of the assignment that's coming up in this lesson. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up another image, open. Again, all of these are in Moodle. We're on fun tools here. So all the images I'm using today, you'll find in here. You got forest, ocean. Oh, I had Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds instead of, I'll add Nick Cage after this video. So you've got Ryan to mess with, Nick Cage, Shrek. But this forest and ocean is what we're going to use. So that's the serious part of the assignment. Obviously, I'm serious about Ryan Reynolds and Shrek too. Let's go back over to Photoshop. We'll open up this forest scene right here and this ocean one right here. I have in your Moodle. And I'm going to show you how to do some pretty cool tools in here, right? So I'm going to double click on this background and I'm going to just make a selection with the marquee selection tool, M. And this is called content aware filter. So I'm going to grab this whole area right here with the marquee selection tool, right click and content aware fill. This is another AI fill. That's pretty cool. What it's going to do is use the sampling brush tool to add to the sampling. Okay, so what I do is I just draw green out here all over. It doesn't have to be all super accurate, okay? I'm just drawing a bunch of area that I want it to sample to fix. Kind of like the clone stamp tool, but it's smart. You don't have to actually do anything but sample an area. And watch it work. Boom. Looks pretty good. You can go in here and mess with some stuff, but most of the time you just hit apply, okay, and then put it on top. So you still got the original. It's non-destructive. And I will say this, it's not perfect. If you really look closely, you see it, but for most use cases, no one's going to see it, especially if you're throwing something else on top here, okay? And I'm going to be using this image in a future lesson, so that's why I loaded these images in. I was thinking, okay? So the forest is a little bit more difficult, but let's try it. Let's go ahead and remove this guy from the forest. I'll double click on this background. I'm going to marquee select him real quick. In this one, we may have to do some painting to finish the composite, but I'll go ahead and try that again. Right click, content aware fill. Okay, and I'm going to use the sample brush again. I want to sample probably not the trees, but maybe everything else in here and just kind of give it some stuff to work with. Let's see what it comes up with when I just draw some stuff out here. It may not be perfect, but let's go ahead and let it work. It's magic. Okay, it is in fact not perfect, but it's a good start. I'll hit apply, okay. And I'll control D. Most people when taking a look at this image wouldn't even notice. And again, if I put something else here, they definitely won't notice. I could go in here and spend a whole lot of time fixing the kind of duplications here with the clone stamp tool. I don't need to though, in most use cases. So it's one of those powerful tools that won't always work perfectly, but it's definitely worth a try because in a few seconds you could do all the work. Now, what we've learned today was super fun. We learned about the fake object selection tool that's so ridiculous and can completely select something from a foreground or background, and it does an amazing job. Then we learned about the Liquify tool under Filter, Liquify, and we even had fun with Shrek. I should have brought up Ryan Reynolds, but you guys can definitely do that. And then I showed you the content aware filter on these two images. These two images, by the way, will be used in a composite tomorrow. So make sure to save this work. Save all your work, upload it to me in Moodle. I can't wait to see what you guys do with the Liquify tool especially. I'll see you tomorrow.